What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I got my Michael Jackson gloves on today because I'm gonna be doing a little dancing. No, that's not, I'm kidding. What I'm gonna be doing is showing you this. This is a strip of film right here. This is the Scala 50 black and white reversal film by Adox. Let's talk about what reversal means, first of all. Typically, you obviously have a negative. That's probably the most common thing that most of you shoot, whether it's black and white or color. And a negative, when you look at it, shows you an inverted image. For black and white, it's the tonality, and then for color, it's color, I guess. Someone can correct me, but the point is you see a negative inverted image. With reversal film, you see what I see here. And this is positive images, meaning you look at these images and they look exactly like what you remember them looking like. The colors are not inverted. It's black and white, so there is no color, but the point is you're seeing the proper image, just desaturated with no color. And if this was color, you'd be seeing like slide film, where you see a positive image. So it's the same idea. This stuff's really cool. So let's talk about kind of what's going on here. What Adox has done is basically create a product that has, film and then a specific developer and Pics for it. The process is you develop the film once, right? And that will hit the silver that has been exposed to light through your camera. You then bleach it, and that treats that silver that's been hit by your camera, but you don't fix the film, so you're not removing the rest of the untouched silver. What you do then is actually take your film out of the developing canister, expose it to the light, you hold it up to whatever you want, just not daylight or sunlight, I guess, but like interior light, and then that actually will then expose the parts of the film that weren't exposed previously. After that, you then develop your entire film once again, and at that point, now you're developing the silver that was exposed to light from the interior, like when you open the canister and showed it to the light. So doing those two steps basically allows you to create a negative, the traditional way, and then before completing the full development process, you then expose the unexposed parts of it to light, and that in effect gives you a positive. And it's called black and white reversal. This can theoretically be done with color, I assume, but specifically here today, we're talking about black and white. So Adox has created a product, like I said, which is the film itself, which is designed for this process. And then they've done this. And this is a development kit that basically includes a developer and a bleach. And it also has a cleansing liquid or a clearing liquid that basically is supposed to remove some of the stain that is left on the film itself during developing. And that eventually gives you kind of a pure black and white tonality with all the shades in between. All right, no more talking for a second. Let's jump into the dark room and I'll show you exactly how I developed this and just kind of some quick insights. All right, y'all, so we're at the step finally of exposing the film to light. Something I've never done before, so I'm actually pretty curious to see how this works. But basically, I'm gonna open this right now. Boom. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm actually gonna put it, well, actually, first of all, well, fuck, I'm already doing this. I realize I shouldn't be talking so much because I can't just expose this to light infinitely, but basically when I looked at the actual negatives or half-developed negatives, I don't know what you want to call them, it looked like almost like stencils. The film was very clear, like super clear, plastic transparent, and then there was like almost like a yellowy color on the surface, or maybe white. Maybe it looked yellow because of the light in the room, but you're supposed to expose this to the light for 2 minutes, which is what I'm doing right now. You can see the reflection in the mirror. Hopefully I did this right. So far it looks interesting, but they say to do it in a jug of water, a transparent jug full of water, because I guess it's the softest way to get light on here. But yeah, so do this for 2 minutes. I didn't even set a clock. So I don't know how long it's been. I could probably check this video and see. Actually, this video's been recording for 1.5 minutes. So we probably started, 20 seconds in. So let's do it another minute and then we'll see. But yeah, I'm basically just rotating this to ensure that the light is hitting all parts of the film. And yeah, this is very interesting. I'm just gonna pull it out and look at it again. Yeah, that's very cool. I wish I could show you this. Let me try to show you this. You can see kind of the stencil outline of images. Hopefully I'm not messing this up by doing this, but that's the part right there. That's really cool. All right, so this video is at the 2-minute mark, so we'll give it another 20 seconds or so. So a lot of work has come to get to this point. A lot of time too. There's just rinsing and developing. Everything is another like bunch of time. Not my favorite process, I'll admit to you. I prefer C41 standard black and white where you just kind of breeze through it. There's not really too much fussing. Here you gotta fuss, and it tells you temperature matters and all this stuff. And I'm sure it's true, but you just know me. You know that I'm very impatient. All right, it's been about 2 minutes, so let's go ahead and put this back in the tank, and then it's time to do the developing round. So I'll show you a couple images at the very beginning of this video, but let's kind of zoom in on a couple of them specifically. The first one that caught my eye, honestly, was this particular photo right here that showcases some graffiti on a wall here in Brixton. And what caught my attention was how sharp this image was. The other thing is there's a bright highlight in this image, and that bright highlight didn't destroy the image. This film really handled that so well. And the beauty of this ISO 50 film is that it's just extremely sharp. So the grain is extremely fine grain, or no grain, you could say. You don't see it with your naked eye. And you just get immense detail, which is amazing. If we go to this particular photo right here, this is one of my favorite photos. This is actually a cliche photo that a lot of people take here in London. It's inside of a mall, and you get this great view of that building, which I forget what it's called. It's some sort of a cathedral church, I think. Anyways, don't quote me on that. I should probably know that. But anyways, here you have these two reflections. It just looks really cool. So I was walking around town with Leo and Zane a few weeks ago, and I popped this photo. But when you look at the actual, film that I have, the positive right here, the thing I'm holding in my hand, it looks amazing to look at. I hold it up to the light here, and you see all the detail. You can see the clouds, you can see the tones in the sky. There's such great contrast on the building itself, and then the reflections look great. Yo, real quick, so I was editing the video, laying in bed, and I was looking at my scans, and I was like, this can't be exactly how they're supposed to look. So I went online, looked at the website for Scala, for Adox, and their scans look very different than mine. So I think the challenge I'm having is, how do you white balance these scans? Mine, they look cool, I think, but they look like old school tintypes. It's almost like a very pristine modern tintype of sort. Whereas the stuff they have on their site looks very clean and proper and profesh. So I don't know, this is something you'd have to mess around with if you were scanning this film, but white balancing it properly to make sure it looks kind of clean and pure black and white, as opposed to what I have, which has a bit of a tint to it. I don't know, it's just kind of something I'm thinking about. Talk to me in the comments if you have any questions or perhaps any ideas, but yeah, I wasn't sure how to scan these. I think that's what's cool about this film. I don't think it's practical per se. You wouldn't be shooting this all the time, but for a special occasion when, let's say, you're going on a trip or just kind of chilling, doing something different, this is a great way to do it. You don't get tired of looking at these slides. And these aren't special photos. I didn't photograph anything too interesting or amazing. These are just kind of locations around town. But I imagine if you shot portraits on this, or if you went to vacation on this new place and you're really excited about it, this could be a great way to commemorate it. And if you take care of these negatives, you can have them forever and ever. It's just a beautiful thing. Again, physical. There's so much physical stuff in film, and this is one great example of that. So in general, do I appreciate this experience? Would I recommend it? I think so. Obviously, you kind of have to invest in the development kit as well if you're going to do it the way that Adox recommends. But you can hack this as well. There is a kind of DIY black and white reversal process. I'll put a video in the link up above. It's not my video, it's somebody else's, but I watched it a while ago, and I thought it was really cool. And I'm probably going to do this myself with the kind of the hacky way at some point, so you'll see mine then. So yeah, I would recommend it on that basis. The only downside to this, I would say, for me personally, is that I can't print this in the darkroom. This isn't a negative, so I can't enlarge it the traditional way. There's a bunch of weird hacky stuff I've read about on some forums where you can potentially darkroom print positives. So whether it's slide film, like color slide film, or even this stuff, but that's all kind of super DIY, hacky, getting crazy and creative with it. And that's cool. I'm not knocking that at all, but I don't know if I have the time or patience for that. Generally, I think that's the only thing that I felt constrained about with this, is that there was a lot of specific requirements. Your water had to be a certain temperature. You couldn't agitate like a crazy person. You just have to be very particular about what you were doing and how you were doing it. Whereas for me, as you know, I'm just kind of rambunctious. I just get it done, and if it works, it works. It doesn't have to be perfect for me. So, personality-wise, it's a challenge. I have to kind of rein it in and focus and try to follow directions. But anyways, thanks to Adox for sending me the film and the developing kit. This was fun, and I definitely think people will really like this. especially, you know, in different situations. You know, not your classic, like very serious situations, but more, you know, novelty things, you know, commemorating vacations or a birthday or, you know, whatever, just something cool and interesting. I am going to be giving some of this film away, so make sure to follow me on Instagram as you see down below. And I don't know, I haven't decided how I'm going to give it away, but I'll probably do some giveaway for that. But in the meantime, of course, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And comment down below. Do you like this? Would you try this? I'm curious what your thoughts are, because I don't think a lot of people that I know have used this. Haven't seen too much content on it out there. So I'm really curious what people think and or what their experience has been. All right, y'all, to the next video. I'm out.